The first thing I want to show you, or this might, after it's edited, be the last thing I show you. But anyway, this is about sewing. So of course you can see that I've got a sewing machine here, and it's got one of those free arms. And the extension to this that came from the manufacturer is this thing right here. And most sewing machines have that, so that you have this little plate. But this is only about as wide as that. What's that? 6 or 7 inches or something like that. And it just gives you a little bit of a surface to sew on. So I needed bigger surface because I wanted to do some free motion quilting. Most of the time when you quilt, or when you piece a quilt, if it's very large, you need to take it to a long armor to have them sew it, like make the quilting part of it on a big long arm machine. It's much easier, it lasts longer, it's prettier, it's more expensive. So on smaller things like single blocks that I might use for a pillow, or like 1 or 2 blocks together or something, or even pot holders, or just about anything. You could even quilt a garment doing what I'm going to show you here in a minute. So I got kind of tired of just fighting with this extension not being large enough. So let me show you what I did. Okay, I'm going to take this off and set it out of the way. Don't ever want anything to happen to that, because it is handy for smaller things. But here's what I did. Now don't laugh, don't judge. There's a lot of measuring that I did here. Let me smooth out that paper. All I needed was to know how tall this needed to be. So what I'm doing is I'm making an extension for my sewing free arm so that I have lots more flat space to scoot things around and quilt, free motion. And if you sew, you probably know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, you could also Google free motion quilting. That's where you take something and you're pushing it around with your hands, and you're just doing a small area at a time. When you're finished, it all looks like you did it all at once, but that's only if you have a large enough surface area to do it. So I took a box that I had, something came in, a can opener came in this box, and I measured everything. So as you can see, there's my free arm, and here's the box. And then I had to put on some extra, I just used old newspaper ads that come in the mail to add paper to this so that I could get everything measured properly. So this matches this, and it goes over here. So I figured that far would be far enough, just up to the button. There's the off and on button on the sewing machine. So this needed to at least go out to here. And then I did the same thing on the back side. So as you can see, here's the gap, and I just matched that up. And then over here, I thought it might be nice if that got extended over past the back of the motor. Okay, so now let me show you what I did after that. So I took this contraption that I made, because this is very crude, and I laid it on top of some foam core. This is foam core. It's here are some pieces of it. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick, and it's 2 strong pieces of paper with foam in the middle. Very lightweight, easy to cut with a box knife. So what I did was match this up to the edge like that, and then I traced the cutout part right here, and I didn't cut off this back part back here because I don't know yet, or the sides, I don't know yet how big I need it. So make it a mess. So here's the piece that I cut out, part of the piece. I had to make a few adjustments, but there is most of it. Okay, so here, come over here with me and I'll show you the finished product. Here's the bottom of it. This is upside down right now. I bought these little legs. Let's see. Okay, these guys right here are little legs that I bought in a plastic bag at Hobby Lobby. I only got 5 in a package, and I knew they were a little bit short, but I knew it was going to be easier to add height than it would be to take it away. So I took these little square pieces right here like this, and I glued it underneath where I glued this, and so this makes it the perfect height to be the perfect height for this. So let's turn this puppy over. Oh, let me get closer to the, so here's the cutout. Like I said, let me grab the other piece over here. So, like I just showed you a few minutes ago, this was my cutout originally. However, when I got it onto the machine to try it out, I realized that I needed to cut out some more stuff and make it wider to do what I wanted it to do. So, if you do this when you're not tired, it always helps. And that's what I did. I had the conception yesterday, the idea, and then I don't want that glare. Where is that glare coming from? Oh, it's coming from the machine itself. Okay, we'll turn that off. There, that's a little better. So I had the idea yesterday, and I went and got all the stuff that I needed, but I didn't try to do it, you know, late at night. So I did it early this morning, because measuring and cutting, doing some fine cutting, and I had to, on the inside of this, I had to bevel this because this is a curved edge right here. So I beveled it so that it would lay flat, and then my little legs are under there. Isn't that cool? Okay, now everybody's probably going, but it's so lightweight. You're gonna shove it out of the way when you start sewing, because this gives me a whole lot more surface that I can push the fabric around in. I can get my hand in here, and you know, I can do something this size. I can do something the size of this easily. Especially on something like this, I would probably divide this into quarters, you know, and do this part and then this part and so forth. And you'll be able to turn it around and it'll be flat. And I love it. So anyway, I'm excited to try this out. So I went and got some batting and you know, this, and I'm gonna check it out. Now, I have never done any free motion quilting. because of my handicap, what I thought was handicap of having that other smaller plate right here, and always always having to have the fabric of whatever I'm working on hanging down in my lap basically, and then hanging off the edge over here, and same on the back. So with this, I think it's going to be a lot easier. So I'm going to turn the camera off and get my little sandwich made on this, and then I'm going to come back and we'll take a stab at free motion quilting. Like I said, don't laugh and don't judge. I'll be back. Okay, so here I am. I have just a piece of fabric with two pieces, or the good side on, folded around this little piece of batting. So I need to put my my quilting foot on here, and we're gonna try this and see if I can do this free motion stuff. So I have no idea what kind of design, but there is one that I've seen the long armors do that's got little hearts and kind of looks like leaves, and it's kind of curly, like it goes around in circles. And then, so I have my stitch length at about between 2.5 and 3 in central needle position, so it's a straight stitch. And then I'm going to put my finger on that. Now the trick, I think, is to keep your pedal steady, like keep the speed steady. Well, I got my thread in the way, but I'm not going to worry about it. So you go, move it around like that. Oh, and I think my needle is bent because I got my finger caught on it. Well, that looks like a little worm so far. Okay, then you let your needle come up. Well, looky there. I made a little scalar wave, kind of, a little interrupted scalar. Okay. I'm going to change the needle because I think I bent it when I was messing around with it. So hang on. Got my needle all changed. So I'm going to make another stab at this. It's a size 12 needle. It had a 14 in it, but I don't know if it makes any difference, but that one was bent. So I'm doing it. I'm not doing anything looking super good. I'm going to take this off. I can tell you right now, this isn't slick enough. I'm going to have to shellac that with something. Let me try to make a heart shape. I've just got my foot on the pedal kind of easy. I mean, this to me is kind of slow sewing. That's going to take some practice. Look at that. Okay. Whee! Around there. Okay. Now let me stop and show you what I did. Okay, we'll cut that thread. We'll cut that thread just to keep it neater looking. Okay, so I hope you can see that. I made a little heart, and the one on the inside is a little bit jagged, but I'll get better at this. And I'll tell you I'm probably going to have to spray some kind of sealer on this paper and then shellac it or something, because this just isn't as slick as this is. So it's going to make it a lot easier to push the stuff around if it's slicker. I need a slicker on it. glove on for this. That's what, I love these gloves. You can use garden gloves or these kind of gloves with little dots on them. To push the fabric around. And this is called meandering. Just going around every which way and making loop-de-loops and stuff. So this can definitely be done on here, and I'm kind of excited about this. I gotta work on my little table extension here a little more so that I can get it so it's slick. But I just want to share the idea with you because you know, and if you have somebody really handy that can cut wood and stuff for you in your family, or you know, somebody that can do it, that would probably be ideal. And then you could put some varnish on it and it would just be perfect. So